Thumping and plucking does not have to be an endurance sport, and in this video, I'm going to break down one of the most slept-on bass lines of the 80s. That's Oh Sheila by Ready for the World. You want to watch this to the end because you are going to get some stuff in here that's going to demystify a lot of the funk bass lines that you want to learn. Let's get into it. Listen, if you're wondering where you are on bass, where you are in your bass journey, there is a free checklist that you can use to kind of gauge where you are and what you may need to work on next. It's linked below. The first thing I want to talk about is, well, I'm going to call it the funk zone because I can't think of a better name to call it. But here it is. First of all, what we need to know, and this is one of the first things that is going to demystify not only the, your fretboard recognition, but how you think about funk music. A lot of this classic funk is usually in E minor because you got that low E string to thump on. So E minor, what do we want to know about this? E minor is the relative minor of G major. Now stick around because all of this is going to make sense. It's going to demystify some things. Here's G major. Let me play the whole scale. Gotta play the scale. You gotta know the scale as deep as the neck is as deep as the neck is. That's gonna get weird in a second, but you know what I'm saying. So I just played above the root. Now let's play below the root. There's the 7 and there's the 6. If you want to know more about we want deeper dives into that stuff, we got to go to the Groove School. But for this video, if I start on E, there's E minor and G major, all without, I didn't move my hand one time. Check this out. Woo, look at them patterns repeat, man. Why am I showing you that? Because when it comes to getting licks and different things like that and different things I'm going to show you, it's going to make sense. Now, that is the second finger shape that we learn quite a bit, this, right? But another shape that is commonly used, the shape that I use a lot of bass players use a lot, is going to be this particular shape. That's G major. Where's E minor? Or look at that. Okay, so you want to be curious and you want to explore. So that's this funk zone. A lot of times we'll have this thump and we'll have this D, E thing. Pretty common, right? That's your playground. That's the real estate for a lot of this funk music, right? That's the toolbox. Look, if I told you, hey man, go to the store and get me some pickled pig's feet, I'm not saying at all that you should eat pickled pig's feet. If you've ever had that, it's disgusting. But you wouldn't go to Bed Bath & Beyond for pickled pig's feet. You might go to the store around the corner, depending on what neighborhood you live in. You get my point. So this saves you knowing those patterns and where they are, at the very least, is going to save you a lot of time for fishing from notes. You also want to know your G major pentatonic scale, your E minor pentatonic scale to kind of thrive in this genre of music. Now, per usual, I am using Songmaster Pro. It is also linked below. This is the tool that myself and thousands of other musicians use to isolate tracks, slow down, loop songs, and learn songs efficiently. So that is the tool that I am showing you on the screen here. You can get yours linked below. It is not a subscription. You pay for it one time and it's yours. So check this out, including updates, by the way. So And the level of separation really depends on the recording, but we have a pretty cool idea. I wish this was around when I was a kid. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to play it. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna, you don't have to play with me. I want you to watch, get some ideas, and then play it along with the record. And then get that vocabulary and start making up your own stuff. So, beat 1. There we have, look at this hand right here. This is where all the textbook technique goes out the window because it doesn't matter. Right now, we're playing. We're not thinking about technique. 2 fingers. First finger, 4th finger. Now, when I do this, sometimes I'll do that. It all depends on how I'm feeling. So what we're playing here is this D and the E, which is the flat 7. D is the flat 7 of E. There's my E minor pentatonic. Remember I told you about E minor pentatonic? Okay, so that's the first part. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Then we have that hammer on. 1, 2, 3. You notice that I am not playing the entire groove. I'm only playing part of it because if I take that one piece and I turn it into an etude, I'm thinking about thumping. If you thump anything, just thump the table, thump your kid. Don't thump your kid. I think that's illegal these days. We're not, I think a lot of times we lose we get lost in like the technique. Right now, I'm just thumping my knee, right? I was just out on a bike ride, so you got me in sweats today. Okay, just roll with me. Right? No thought whatsoever went into that. No more thought than necessary. Now we're going to play C, C, D. What is C and what is D? Let's talk about those 2 notes. G major. C is the 4th scale degree in the key of G. D is the 5th scale degree in the key of G major. How does it relate to E minor? The D happens to be the flat 7 of the E. Now listen, all of that theoretical mumbo jumbo is important and it's helpful. Is it necessary? No, not necessarily. Okay? It would help you talk about it more than it would help you play it. Got me? So, on that C and that D. So if you isolate it, you want to get better at your thumping? Take a song. Take a real song like this one. As a matter of fact, over in the Groove School, I got a whole slap bass thing, thumping and plucking. It's in the Groove School modules, but it's based around real songs and breaking them down. So Let's Work is in there as well, and like broken up into several different parts. So also, that's not new material. That's there. You dig? Let's see if you can play along with me. We're going to not use any drum tracks. 1, 2. 1, 2. Play it with me. Let's play it again. Now check it. You see what I'm doing. I'm moving. We got to be in charge of the time without the drums. Even without the drums, right? It's in me. I'm feeling really 1, 2, 3, 4. My leg is playing those quarter notes. It's feeling those quarter notes. The groove is in my body. I'm saying it with such emphasis because it's so important. It's nearly impossible for you to stand still. I mean, I know that there's guys on the internet that try to, but that ain't that. I mean, that's the internet, man. In real life, it's next to impossible to like really groove and stay still. I said what I said, so. My thumb and it's like a drum, right? Let's talk about this next part. What is that? What is that? Or alternately, or E minor, that's the 1, 2, the flat 3, and the 5. Because B is the 5th note away from E. Why would I play it here as opposed to here? What's the difference? What difference does it make? Listen very, very closely. That's cool. Or you see it? Subtle difference, but you understand what I'm saying? We got two different places now to address the same idea, but that comes from us knowing our knowing that scale in different places. I had a little brain freeze right there. But a lot of times, now I'm going to give you a little glimpse into something, okay? This is a nugget. And we'll talk about this in greater detail. We'll talk about this in greater detail at a different time. However, come here, let me tell you something. A minor chord can function as either the second chord in a scale, a major scale, the third chord in a major scale, or the sixth chord in a major scale. In this case, E minor is functioning as the sixth of G major. Let me say that again. In this case, the E minor, or the E minor 7, is functioning as the sixth scale degree of G major. if it were functioning as the 2 chord, Dorian, it would be what? I'm not going to tell you. What would it be the 2 of? Leave that in the comments. If it were functioning as the 3, it would be Phrygian of something. It would still be a minor 7 chord, but the mode and the scale tones that we used that would give it different flavors. You dig? So I'm telling you that in this case, E minor is the 6 of G major. You leave in the comments, if it were the 2 of something, it would be the 2 of what? If it were the 3 of something of another major scale, what is the major scale that it would be the 3 of? When you start picking these things apart systematically, what happens is you really start to see the neck in a different way, and it starts to become second nature. But the framework that I use all the time, can you play it? Can you hear it? Can you see it? Can you explain it? The explain part, can you explain it on some level, right? So you can be intentional about what you're playing. So now here's what you've learned, right? You've learned what I am now calling the groove zone. We're going to have to think of a better name for that. But you see this landscape, right? And you're getting a better insight of these techniques. You got to find songs and then take little bits of those bass lines and turn them into etudes as well. You also have to meet me over at the Groove School. You can get a 7-day free trial. All right. That's where I put content that does not come on YouTube, exclusive content weekly over there at Groove School. I hope to see you there. It's a lot more fun over there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did this help you? I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you watching. Peace. 2 fingers.